Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the owner of seasonandsurfblog.com. Now I know it's only January, but gardening season is just around the corner and soon we'll be outside planting and getting our gardens all beautiful for the season. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of our garden plan updates for 2021 that we have planned, and I'm also going to show you how I organized my seeds because we did get a lot of brand new seeds this year. I went a little bit crazy looking at the catalogs and looking online, but I'm very excited to try some new things out. So I'm going to show you that stuff, and yeah, I can't believe we're already doing gardening videos. I'm so excited. So before we get into today's video, please hit the like button as well as the red subscribe button down below if you're interested in gardening or if you're also interested in seasonal recipes. I love cooking with seasonal food, whether it's from local producers or from food from my own garden. So if you like that stuff, definitely give me a follow. Also, make sure to check me out on Instagram and also follow me on my food blog for lots of seasonal recipes and fun updates as well over there. So I'll begin by talking about our backyard garden, and that's where we grow all of our fruits and our vegetables. And last year we had a pretty good success with the garden. We grew a bunch of different things. We grew tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, blueberries, raspberries, lettuce, everything. Basically, we grew a lot of stuff. So if you want to see how our garden looked like last year, click the annotation above for our summer garden tour video, which kind of shows you all of the things that we grew. There's also more gardening videos linked down below in the description if you're interested to see more gardening videos from last year. So in our backyard, we have a really large L-shaped garden bed, and we found that over the past 3 years of gardening in that space, our plants grew the best in that raised garden bed as opposed to growing directly in the ground. We know the soil in the ground is not that great. It is sort of clay in some spots, sandy in other spots. It's kind of bizarre. So it's a little bit all over the place. The pHs are all over the place too once we tested it, and it is not the best. So to fix that problem, we are actually going to construct a bunch of new raised beds, and we are going to go full on with those. We are going to make lots of raised beds so that we have lots of space to grow our fruits and our vegetables this year. So we know it's going to be a very large project. We actually are going to hire a contractor to help us out with that, and it's going to be great. But even though we're hiring a contractor, we are still going to do a lot of the work ourselves. Like, we are going to build our raised garden beds ourselves. David actually went out and bought a beautiful saw. I don't know what it is, a miter saw, the one that like drops down. We were there and David was talking about it and we bought it, but I still don't know what it's called. But it is a really good saw, and we're going to use it to cut some wood for our raised beds. We're also going to work on irrigation ourselves. We did get a quote for that, but it was fairly expensive, and there are lots of great online tutorials, so we're hoping that we can follow that and get some expert tips and advice on how to do irrigation. But I know since we're having so many raised garden beds, irrigation is going to be a game changer in the backyard in terms of time saving and actually getting the plants the right amount of water that it needs to actually grow properly. So that is going to be a fun experiment to do. In addition to the raised garden beds, we are going to install a new lawn, because what we have in the backyard is not a lawn by any means. It is literally 100% weeds back there. It is horrible and I feel so bad. It just looks really bad, and I want to be able to walk outside and not step on like a thorny weed or like get dandelion all over me. Like, it's not ideal. So we're going to install new lawn, and it makes sense to do that now because with the garden bed installation, they're going to have to bring in machinery to help with that and leveling the ground and stuff like that. So might as well put new grass in as well. So that'll be another big change to the backyard. We're also going to have our large tree in the backyard trimmed up so that our existing garden bed can get a little bit more light. Last year, the tree actually grew quite a bit, and its branches are sort of covering half of our raised garden bed that's already in our backyard. So we found that we had mixed success with the plants that we had there, because some were really shaded, some were in full sun, and the ones that were in shade did not do very well at all. And we don't want to have that happen again this year, so we're going to trim up the tree in our backyard. It's also a big project in itself, but luckily we're not doing that. We hired someone to do it, and yeah, he seems really great. So I'm excited to get that tree all fixed up. If that wasn't enough, we're actually also going to set aside some space to do a beautiful cut flower garden, because I love having flowers. You can see in all my videos, I go out and I buy a bunch of flowers, and I love having them around the house. I think it just makes the house look so beautiful, and I really can change it up with the seasons, which I really like as well. So I love my flowers, so I'm gonna do a cut flower garden. And I've been seeing these across a bunch of different YouTube channels, like Garden Answer made a miraculous cut flower garden. That is the cut flower garden of my dreams. So if I could do a cut flower garden at that scale, I totally would, but we're gonna do it on a miniature scale. And I did buy quite a few seeds for the cut flower garden. I haven't really started flowers from seeds though, so we'll see how that goes, but I know if I fail, I can always go to the garden center and get some fully grown plants that I can just plant out in the landscape. So not only will the cut flower garden look really beautiful, it'll also be really beneficial to bees and butterflies and pollinators from all over the place, and they can come and, you know, chill out on the flowers, get some pollen, and then go over to our vegetables and pollinate all of those. So it is a win-win situation for everyone. Overall, the backyard is going to undergo an amazing transformation this year, and I really think it is going to be for the better. I think having a lawn will be really nice to just go out, walk around barefoot, be free, not step on any thorny weeds, which you guys know what those ones are, and they're horrible, but they're all in our backyard right now, so I definitely want to get rid of those. Also, I think, you know, growing your own fruits and vegetables is really nice. In a way, it is therapeutic to get outside and garden, but also having that food security, especially during these crazy times where grocery prices are fluctuating up and down, especially here on Vancouver Island, since we get so many things imported during at least the winter months. Summer, we're a little bit more, you know, local, but yeah, having that food security is pretty nice. And also knowing like what's in your soil, if you spray anything on your plants, it's good to know like exactly what's in it. We don't spray, we like to keep everything organic and really nice like that. I'll be doing more videos, of course, on our garden as it progresses and show you all our plans and what we're gonna do. But in the meantime, if you want to catch any updates, you can follow me on Instagram. I always go out in the garden, do little garden tours, stuff like that. And now, especially with the garden season coming up, we're doing lots of repairing as well. So follow me on my Instagram, and then also to catch how our garden transforms over the season, hit that red subscribe button down below. So if that wasn't enough garden work in itself, we're also going to be planning to do a little bit of updates to our front yard. And our plans for the front yard are nowhere near as extensive as the backyard. We're not ripping anything out, nothing crazy like that. But our main goal in the front yard is to plant more flowers and more plants in general. So with the front yard, we are mainly going to focus on landscaping. I'm actually going to move a couple of larger plants that we have in the backyard into our front yard, especially since we're redoing this space. I don't want to have to, you know, rip them out or throw them out or anything. So I'm going to repurpose those in the front yard. And also in the front yard, we are going to plant a lot more flowers. And again, this benefits all the bees and pollinators and stuff like that. So I think it'll help them and also give the house some really nice curb appeal, because right now it looks good. It looks a lot better than before, but I think it can just get a little bit better, a little bit more color, which I think will be really, really nice for the neighborhood. So that is all of our plans for our garden this year, both the front yard and the backyard. And the backyard is definitely going to be no small feat to accomplish, but I think in the end it is going to be so beautiful, and we're going to be able to grow so much more food by ourselves at our home. So I'm very excited for that. Now, of course, with all of these plans, we bought quite a few seeds this year. I did go a little bit overboard looking at the catalogs and looking online, but I'm very excited for it. So I want to show you our seed box, and mainly because it's like the cutest seed box I think ever. So this is what it looks like. It has beautiful little flowers on it. It is the cutest. Not the best for the organization with the shape, but I did do a little hack on the inside to help organize my seeds a little bit better, which I will show you next. So this is what our seed box looked like before, and as you can see, it was really disorganized. There was items in pill bottles, there was items in envelopes. It was kind of all over the place. So as you can see, it was really messy, and we're just going to do a simple, easy hack to organize our seeds. So I simply emptied all the seeds from the box, and then I used an old shoe box and just cut that up with long rectangular panels to fit the inside of my box. And I just simply cut slits into them and made a little panel divider. It might not be the best solution, but at least it organizes the seeds for now. So to organize my seeds, I'm going to place them into envelopes and put them inside each of the panels. As you can see, I have stuff wrapped up in paper towels here, and that's not the best for space saving. I purchased these brown seed packages off of Amazon, and I'm just using a pen to write on the name of the plant that's in there along with the date. And if you can remember, you should always put the date on there just so that you know how old your seeds are. Then I'm simply going to unwrap the seeds and remove them from the paper towel and just place them all into the envelope. Then once all the seeds are in the package, I'm just going to fold up the envelope and then place it into the dividers. Then I'm simply repeating the process for the rest of the seeds that I have, and most of the seeds that I had were left in pill bottles, so I'm just going to empty those out into envelopes to take up a little bit less space. All of these pill bottles are from my father-in-law, and he also included not only the name of the seeds on each of the packages, but also information like the year and how deep to plant them and the spacing and stuff like that. So I made sure to write down as much information from the bottles onto the envelopes as I could. And then I simply repeated the process for the rest of the bottles that I had. And finally, we were left to organizing the rest of the envelopes that I had. So I collect a lot of seeds. Most of my seeds are actually from West Coast Seeds, which is a local seed company. I also get seeds from Bessie's as well as Mackenzie Seeds as well. And the process for organizing these envelopes was super simple. All I did was sort of categorize them and put them into different compartments. So I had an herb compartment, a greenhouse compartment that had seeds like peppers and eggplants in them. I also had a pumpkin and squash compartment, beans and peas, flowers, a whole bunch of stuff. So I thought that this was the easiest way to organize my seeds, and this way I can just go to one category and see all the different types of seeds that I have. And this is what my seeds look like at the end. They are all organized in this box, and I think it looks a lot better than it did before. It might not be the best storage solution, but for now, this is what I'm going to go with, and I am really excited. Whenever I look at this, I just get ready to garden. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the red subscribe button down below and also click that like button as well. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram and also on my food blog so that you can follow along with amazing gardening tips, seasonal recipes, bunch of stuff. We're doing a bunch of stuff in 2021. It is going to be amazing. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!